The lesson we're doing today is 6.1, convert units of length. So our essential question says, how can you use ratio reasoning to convert from one unit of length to another? In the customary measurement system, some of the common units of length are inches, feet, yards, and miles. You can multiply by an appropriate conversion factor to convert between units. A conversion factor is a rate in which the two quantities are equal but use different units. What that means is 12 inches is equivalent to 1 foot. So those are the same amount of length but two different types of measurement, right? Okay, so that's what it's talking about. So this is going to be your friend today. You're going to need this for the assignment. 1 foot equals 12 inches, 1 yard, 36 inches, 1 yard is 3 feet, 1 mile is 5,280 feet, and 1 mile is 1,760 yards. So that's what we need. We're going to start with, says in a soccer game, Kyle scored a goal. Kyle was 33 feet away from the goal. How many yards away from the goal was he? So we're going to set this up. We know that, be respectful guys, that 1 yard equals 3 feet. And we can set that up as the ratio, 1 yard over 3 feet, right? 1 yard over 3 feet equals, now we are trying to turn this into, or the number that they've given us is 33 feet. So what do you multiply 3 times to get 33? 11. And if you do it to the bottom?
Do it to the top.
So what is 1 times 11? 11. So that means 33 feet is equivalent to 11 yards. Okay? So let's fill this in. 11 yards. 11 yards. Okay. How many inches from the goal was he? Okay, so we have, we need to know how many, so in 1 foot equals how many inches? 12 inches. And so we can set that up as a ratio. 1 foot equals 12 inches. And we know that he was 33 feet from the goal. So what do you multiply 1 times to get 33?
33.
And if you do it to the top?
To the bottom.
So on your calculators, multiply 12 times 33. What do you get?
Already 396.
396, and that's going to be, we have feet and feet, inches, inches. Okay, so 396 inches. I have this as a reminder, so you set up your ratio, cross multiply, then divide by the extra number. That's what we've been doing. Metric units. You can use a similar process to convert metric units. Metric units are used throughout most of the world, except for America. We mostly do customary. There are some jobs that use metric, like you mentioned earlier, construction workers. So there's different tool sets that are in metric versus customary. One advantage of using the metric system is that the units are related by powers of 10. So I'm going to bring this over. This is our powers of 10 anchor chart. And we're going to be using it today. Okay. So as a reminder, when you multiply by 10, the decimal point moves to the right one time. When you multiply by 100, the decimal point moves to the right 2 times. When you multiply by 1,000, the decimal point moves to the right 3 times. And then these are 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3. On the other hand, when you divide, the decimal point moves to the left, the number that matches the number of zeros. So if you are dividing by 10, which has 1 0, the decimal point moves to the left 1 time, and so on. Sit up, please. All right, a passenger airplane is 73.9 meters long. What is the length of the airplane in centimeters? What is the length in kilometers? Okay, so first we need the conversion factor. 1 centimeter equals 100, or 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. So we're going to use the conversion rate of 100 centimeters over 1 meter. 100 centimeters over 1 meter. Okay? And so we are going to multiply 73.9 meters times 100 centimeters, which equals 1 meter. Okay? And this will give us our missing number. Okay? So when you multiply 73.9 times 100, the decimal point goes to the right 2 times. So 73.9, if the decimal point goes to the right 2 times, becomes 7,390. So 73.9 meters, or 73 and 9 tenths meters, is equal to 7,390 centimeters. Okay? Okay, so this is going to be hugely helpful to you today. And it looks a little bit confusing at first, but let me show you. Okay, so this, all of these that have a hyphen behind them end in meter. So it's millimeter, centimeter, decimeter, meter, decameter, hectometer, kilometer, and, or kilometer.
Meter.
Here's the thing, if you're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, you multiply by 10. If you're going 2 units smaller, eyes up here please. If you're going 2 units smaller, then you multiply by 10 and then 10 again, which is equivalent to multiplying by what?
20. Oh, I know, 100.
100. Right? All right, so let's do, if we're going from kilometers all the way down to millimeters, we would go times 10 times 100 times 1,000 times 10,000 times 100,000 times
1 million.
1 million millimeter. Million. Okay, so on the other hand, if you're starting with a smaller unit and converting to a bigger unit, you divide by 10. So in this case, we divide by 10. If we're wanting to go from millimeters to decimeters, what would we actually divide by? 100. Good, Briley. Because if you divide by 10 times 10 is 100, okay? So that is important that you understand. You understand, Katana? $73.9 meters to kilometers. Okay, so we're going 73.9 meters to kilometers, right? Let's look where we start. We start at meters, right here, right? And we're going to kilometers, which is over here. Do you see which way the arrows go? So how do you get from here to here? Divided by 1,000. Because look, 10, 100, 1,000. Okay? 10 to the power of 3. So we're dividing by 1,000. When we divide by 1,000, it's 10 to the power of negative 3. All right, so here we go. We're starting with 73.9 meters to kilometers. That means we are dividing by 1,000. So 73.9 divided by 1,000. Okay, when we divide by 1,000, our decimal point moves to the left 3 times. So we're going to do this, 73.9, we're going to move it 1, 2, 3 times. It's going to end up right here. Let's see if we're right. 0.0739, so it's 739 10,000ths. All right. So here we go. Okay, uses the same digits, right? 739, 739, but it's just moving that decimal point around. Okay. Next, we're going miles to yards. So, how many yards are in a mile? Go back to your very front page. Very front page. 1,760. Very good, Ian. 1,760 yards in 1 mile. And we got the conversion rate right here as well. We want to know how many yards are in 3 miles. So if we have 3 miles times 1,760 yards per 1 mile. What's that going to give us?
5,280.
5,280. Good. 5,280 yards. Because if we cross multiply here, 3 times 1, sorry, no, they've set it up with where we just multiply straight across. Sorry about that. Okay, so we don't need to cross anything out in that case because we have both ones on the bottom. Okay, so here we have DM to HM. Let's go back over. Gonna need this chart. DM to HM. DM is decimeter, so we're starting right here and going to HM, which is hectometer. Okay? Do you see which way the arrow? So we need to go to the left, correct? And how do we go to the left? We have to use these arrows to go to the left, right? Okay? And so we're going to be dividing by what?
1,000.
1,000. Okay, does that make sense? Because how many groups of 10 are there? 3, which means 1,000. So we're going to go back and we're going to 43 divided by 1,000. We'll look again because it said divide, right? Since we're moving from here to here, we have to divide by 1,000. 43 divided by 1,000. Where's the decimal point in 43?
After the 3.
After the 3. Good. So if we divide by 1,000, we move the decimal point 3 times to the left. So we're going to take 43. The decimal points right here go 1, 2, 3. It ends up right here, and we've got to add a 0 right there. Okay? So it is 0.043 hectometers. So we did 43 divided by 1,000. All right, next we have yards and inches. So how many inches are in 1 yard?
36.
Yep, 1 yard is 36 inches. So 9 yards would be, how do you get from 1 to 9?
Multiplying
By 9. If we do it to the top,
do it to the bottom.
so what's 36 times 9?
324.
324 inches. That's our answer. 9 yards is 324 inches. Okay? Next, we've got 72 feet in yards. Feet in yards. How many feet are in a yard? 1 yard equals 3 feet. And since I put feet on the bottom, what needs to go on the bottom over here? Feet. And what do you multiply 3 times to get 72? If you're not sure, how could you find out?
Our calculator.
And put what into your calculator?
72 divided by 3.
72 divided by 3, and that will give you 24. And that's what we're going to multiply by. 1 times 24 is 24. So 72 feet equals 24 yards. And this last one, we're going from millimeters to decimeters. So let's go back up to our conversion. We're going from millimeters. Here's our starting point, and we're ending up at decimeters. Okay? So are we going to divide or multiply? Okay, we're going to divide. And how many spaces do we need to jump? 1, 2. So what are we going to divide by? 100. Good. So we are going to take 7,500 and divide it by 100. If we divide by 100, we move the decimal point to the left twice. So our decimal point starts right here and we move it to the left twice, which equals 75. Okay. All right. You guys get that copy down? Okay, we're gonna keep going. I'll go back up there in a little bit if you didn't finish that. Rohan used 9 yards of ribbon to wrap gifts. How many inches of ribbon do they use? So we are using yards and inches. So 1 yard equals how many inches?
12. Oh, no, not
36 inches. But we want to do 9 yards. So what do we multiply by? 9. And if you do it to the top, what's 36 times 9? 324 inches. So our answer for this is 324 inches. One species of frog can grow to a maximum length of 12 and 4/10 millimeters. What is the maximum length of this frog species in centimeters? So we're going from what to what? Jenna, we're going from what to what?
Millimeters to centimeters.
Good. So we're going from millimeters to centimeters. So let's go back up to our chart. We are going from millimeters to centimeters. So, Luke, does that mean we're going to multiply or divide? Going from millimeters to centimeters. We're going to divide by what?
10.
Good. Very good, Luke. So we're going to divide by 10. So let's keep that in our brains. We're going to do 12.4 divided by 10. So if we divide by 10, we move the decimal point to the left one time. So that means 12 and 4/10 becomes 1 and 24 hundredths. So 1.24 centimeters. So we took 12.4, moved the decimal point one time to the left, meaning it ended up between the 1 and 2. Okay? The height of the Empire State Building measured to the top of the lightning rod is approximately 443 1/10 meters. What is this height in hectometers? So we are going from what to what, Skylar?
Meters to hectometers.
Very good. Nice job. So we're going meters to hectometers. So let's remember that. Go back up here. Meters to hectometers. So we're starting here and going to hectometers. So Melanie, what do we have? Do we divide or multiply? Divide, because to get from here to here, we're going to have to use these arrows. And what are we going to divide by?
100.
Very good, Melanie. So we're dividing by 100. Keep that in your head. You're dividing by 100. We're going to go back over here and say 443 1/10 divided by 100. When we divide by 100, we move the decimal point 2 times to the left. So 443.1, the decimal goes 1, 2 times to the left, so it's between the two 4s. So 4.431, and that's HM for hectometers. Okay, this one tripped me up this morning because I missed a key point. I should have realized it was going to be trickier because of that little go deeper thing. Go deeper in your thinking. Go deeper in your brain. A snail moves at a speed of 2 5/10 feet per minute. How many yards will the snail have moved in a half an hour?
All you have to do is just figure out how much 2.5 feet is for yards, and then multiply by 30.
You could, or there's an even easier way. You're right, though, Chase. What I found to be a little easier because of the decimals you're going to have to use is to first figure out how many feet he travels in a half an hour and then convert that into yards. So if we've got that he goes 2.5 feet in 1 minute, right? And how many minutes are there in a half an hour? 30. So we're actually doing 30 minutes, right? So what we're going to have to do here to find out how many feet he travels in 30 minutes, we're going to have to multiply 2.5 times 30. What's that give you? 75. So in 30 minutes, he travels 75 feet. So that's that's the first conversion that we have to use for this one. Then we can convert 75 feet into yards. So, so we're gonna go 2.5 feet in 1 minute, and equals in 30 minutes, we figured that out as 75 feet. So now we've got to convert 75 feet into yards. So 1 yard equals how many feet? 3 feet. But we're going 75 feet. So what do you multiply 3 times to get 75? Think about money.
25.
25. And if you do it to the bottom, so 1 times 25 is 25. So that's the answer, 25 yards. Okay, the last thing, in order to compare using less than, greater than, or equal to, we need to be talking about the same thing. So on one hand, we've got feet and yards. So it's easier to convert the bigger measurement into the smaller measurement, because then you just multiply. So if they're, how many feet are in 1 yard? 3. So if we have 11 yards, how many feet is that?
33.
33 feet. So 32 feet is less than 33 feet. Okay? To go from meters to centimeters, we have to divide, no, hang on, let me double check. So I want to take this centimeter and turn it into meters. That means we multiply or divide by 100. So there's 100 centimeters in a meter. So we need to divide 537 divided by 100. If we divide by 100, we move the decimal 2 times to the left. So 537 centimeters is 5.37 meters. So we need an equal sign here. The last one, how many inches are in 1 foot? 12. If you have 6 feet, how many inches would that be?
72.
72 inches. So 75 inches is greater than 72 inches. Okay.